Hello everyone, welcome back to a Kerbal Space Program 2 video. So in this video, I have my payload which is for just a space station, but I'm going to be teaching you best way to make a rocket that can get to orbit, and basically, from there. So I could just, whack on fuel tanks for fuel tanks for fuel tanks and then just put an engine. But the only problem with that is you're just adding more mass, not thrust. So say if your thrust is 100 and your mass is 25, you'll have a good thrust to weight ratio of 3 probably, I think. But if you add more tanks, so we add 4 more tanks, then your thrust to weight ratio is 1 to 1, which means it's not going to take off. Like for example, this rocket will not take off because there's too much mass and not enough thrust. So what you usually want to do is you want to just make stages. So your second stage is going to be the one that should be in the lower slash vacuum part of the atmosphere. So that's where you look out for the ones that have the more max thrust vacuum. They work the best. But for example, this engine has max thrust 1 atmosphere, which is close to max thrust vacuum. But that's only because in vacuum there's no atmosphere dragging the engine back. So I could use this, but I feel like this, for me, it would be a bit overkill, but it depends how far you want to go. But for orbit, I'd suggest this engine as your second stage, or you could use this one, which is a bit slower. So but it depends on how far your first stage gets to the second stage. So if the first stage gets you to about 45,000 meters, which is just in the thinner part of the atmosphere, you'll probably want to use this engine. But if you're like apoapsis and periapsis are pretty much respect to each other nearly orbit, so they're like about to get into orbit, which I'll explain more in the future when I actually launch this. But yeah, so that is the engine I'm choosing because it's more thrust in the second stage. But then you wanna put, I'm gonna do this, you wanna put do what you want, put a decoupler. Then for your first stage, you wanna look out for the big engine, and I'm using this one because 1300 kilonewtons of thrust is pretty good, and this will probably get me to about high Kerbal orbit, maybe even geosynchrony orbit. But other than that, I think the boost is actually overkill. But yeah, so bigger engine, bigger atmosphere engine at the bottom, and good amount of fuel tanks. So as you can see, if we look at the engineer's report, our thrust rate is 1 to 1, which means it'll work. It'll just start off slow, but as we burn fuel, it'll go faster and faster, and as we get higher, the less atmosphere will go faster and faster. So it all depends what is your goal. So low Earth orbit, boom, big engine, 2 tanks, small engine, and less tanks. So you never want to have more than or equal to amount of tanks in your first stage, unless you're going to say like Joule and you need the fuel. But if you go to somewhere like Minmus or Mun or low Earth orbit, then you'll be fine with this. So then just make sure your staging is alright, and I'm gonna just put a clamp here just so it doesn't fall. Actually, no, I'll just launch it. So yeah, so now we're gonna launch. So let's go. Alright, so we are at the launch pad, and before we get started, we should take note of a few things. So the nav ball, which is where you're facing and all, is really helpful. So to orbit, you have to go around the Kerbal, obviously. So what you want to do is, when you're lifting off, you want to every so often, which I'll basically show you as I do it, you want to just pitch downrange. So click in D, so you want to downrange towards the sea. Prograde means prograde for now is straight up because our velocity is coming from up, but if we turned, prograde would be the tip of our apoapsis, which is the highest point of our trajectory. So if we just start this countdown, ignition, there we go. See, slow lift off, but it's getting faster and faster because physics. But yeah, as you can see, prograde is up because it's counting the apoapsis, and periapsis is in the center because we haven't orbited yet, so that's retrograde. So if we pitch downrange now, look, I'm pitching downrange. As you can see, prograde is slowly moving with it as our apoapsis is getting changed. So yeah, I'm gonna just time warp a little bit because this is a little bit slow. I should have put the boosters on, but look, I can see I'm just slightly pitching down range. So by the tip of the first atmosphere bar, you want to be about 40, not 45, about somewhere between this and that line. So like here. So like, oh, you could be 45 degrees. Yeah, 45. Okay, yeah. So 45 degrees is the ideal point, but in my opinion, I usually like to go about 60 degrees because it gives more height rather than distance. So if we just keep going, as you can see, we're already going fast. We're only going Mach 1 at max Q. Also, another problem is you want to make sure your rocket has reaction wheels, so you actually steer the craft, or else you'll just tumble out the max Q. So here we are. We'll be approaching our first stage separation. As you can see, I'm maintaining this core line as you want to get the most the least elliptical orbit you can. Yes. Okay. Well, damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to pitch up then because I have this problem. Yeah, the fairings aren't exactly the best currently, so they don't actually have heating installation on in those cans. But if you look, our apoapsis is already 45,000, which is not. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah. See, that's another problem. If you're gonna have two stages, you want to make sure your second stage ignites in or relatively close to the vacuum so that you don't start tumbling. But that's rare though, so it doesn't matter. So you keep an eye on the orbital info. So the apoapsis, which is the tip of your trajectory, has to be at least 70,000 or higher just to 70,000 is after the atmosphere, and then you'll be clear. And as you can see, the periapsis is minus 500,000. You're probably wondering, well, why? Well, that's because it's in the middle of Earth and it's expanding that way. So that's why it takes a bit of time, but eventually you'll get it. So if you just jettison our fairings, just full force. Alright, see, we're going Mach 3, and periapsis is still not good. And let me just deploy my solar panels to have the atmosphere. So you can see prograde, you shouldn't always follow prograde because prograde will always want to, in the atmosphere at least, it'll always change, and you'll just end up going like straight in a straight line at 10,000 meters. So as you can see, I am actually going for my space station, so I'm gonna just set that as my target for now, but that's just me doing me. In the next video, the next video I have planned for the tutorial is how to, get a transfer to the Mun, or, plans like that. And if you want that, then let me know in the comments. But if you want anything else, just let me know and I'll teach them. I'll probably do docking after the transfers one, but yeah, we'll see. So as you can see, minus 300,000 and apoapsis at 100,000. I think is like perfect for it. But yeah, so you wanna burn, to the direction you're accelerating. So as you can see, I'm burning this way, so I'm burning this way as well, so that I can complete my orbit. So as you can see, it's rising up now. It's getting really faster, and it's about to orbit. So this basically is what orbiting is. You just want to go in a straight line, get some height, get to at least 70,000 meters, and that's out of space. And then just once you're, if your apoapsis hits 70,000 meters, just all you want to do is just coast and pitch down every so often. You know, well, not pitch down every so often, but just pitch down, like, you know, just so your Apple Access expands and is actually, you know, comprehensible. So this will be like, this will also be half a maneuvering guide, because, you know, I'm docking to my space station, and that's basically, you know. Alright, so if we set it to pro grade, I'm gonna set it to pro grade because I'm on my Apple Access, so my pro grade will always extend that point. Oh wait, is that mine? No, that's mine. Okay. Okay. Wait, no, that is. Wait, oh, I'm at the wrong point. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna just remove that because that confused me a lot. But yeah. But yeah, so that sums up building a rocket and orbit. So, you know, if you are still puzzled, just let me know in the comments, and I shall help you as best as I can. So right now, that's fine actually. I'm actually not going to show you the docking, as it's just going to take a little bit longer because I have to get the velocity. So that's going to be it. If you have any questions, let me know, and next video we'll do transfers, and in an hour from now, well, not an hour and a half-ish from now, will be KSP2 episode 3, where I go to Duno with my rover, and then also at 7 PM later today will be episode 4, where I go to Jewel, and yeah, let's just say Jewel was amazing. It was perfect. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and goodbye. Take care.